This is Coogan Cassius for IFLTV. It's Friday, 11:23. Yeah. Just check the. Oh, I've just dropped you.
Oh my God, me rehydration.
Sorry, knocking your drink over. Yeah, all weighed in, all done now.
Yeah, all done. Ready for a little rest and some real food in a bit, Coogs. I got the call on like the 9th of Jan for this, so I was just coming home from Tenerife, being away for 2 weeks. And Tom Dallas was like, spoke with Eddie and Frank, and they're fine for you to be on the February 21st card. I was like, shit, how many weeks does that leave me to get ready? But we're ready. We're all good.
Give us a little insight to making weight in MMA versus making weight in boxing. What's the fundamental differences?
Not really. My first 2 fights I didn't have to cut anything for boxing. This one I cut about 1 kilo yesterday just because I only have 5 weeks to get ready. MMA, when I was uneducated, I cut like 8 to 10 pound the night before. But that's when I was a meatball, do you know what I mean? But I ended up dropping to the weight class below, which is 10 pound lighter. I never cut more than 2 pounds. No way. Right, just so you know, is flash broke. So we've gone from frost tip to warm, a warm light. What would you say? Warm? Warm, yeah. I'll give you your job back.
It's gone from cool to warm. Yeah, we were just talking about kind of those differences between making the weight. Yeah.
I don't think there's differences in making the weight. I think the difference came when I learned how to be more disciplined, and I just educated. Like when I was 19, 20, well, up to about 26, didn't know how to make weight. I didn't know what macros was. I was just like, I was literally talking about it today. I'd eat like 2 bowls of crunchy nut and think, oh yeah, I'm going to lose weight. You just dead. I'd stop drinking water on the Friday if I was fighting on the stop drinking water on the Monday if I was fighting on the Friday. Do you know what I mean? Like just the world was just uneducated then.
This will be your 3rd fight. Yep, I know. What did you really take from the Ebony Cotton fight? Didn't seem too impressed. Were you being harsh on yourself on the night?
Yeah, I think I was, but I made such a career in MMA through just having wars, but I'd really hate them. And everything you throw in MMA, there's lots of time to rest. You've got 5 minutes to move and suss, but when you go, it's like, it's not a straightener because it's 4 Olympic disciplines in one, but you're hitting like everything you've got bang with discipline, right? And then that first fight I had, everything went my way. And I was like, oh, this boxing's easy. And then I was told, well, not told, I presumed, and my own presumption led me into deeper waters than needed to be. I judged the book by its cover, and I didn't think she'd be able to take the shots that I threw, and she did. And then I was trying to throw hard with every shot, and you can't do that in boxing. So I'm speaking to Ben Davis this week, actually. He's like, Mal, you've got to undress them. And I was like, oh, yes, that's what you've got to do. Not me opponents, not like taking women's clothes off, but I mean, like, with little shots, and then you hit with the big one. So that, I feel like that's the last bit that I had to figure out in boxing, which I learned from her. But yeah, I didn't watch the fight back for ages. I was like, she was a rat, and I was fuming. And then I watched it back not long ago, and I was like, oh, well, I think I actually boxed better in that than I did the first fight, but I just had so much more success in the first fight, do you know what I mean?
We know how quickly the women's game can be kind of pushed after a few fights. You could be in contention for being in line to fight for world titles, etc. So we're kind of coming to end of February now. Do you think you'll get a world title shot before the year's out?
They'll say on Saturday where my next fight is, but you pretty much probably know where that's going to be in April. And then I think I'd probably fight August, and then I'd like to go again before the end of the year, so I'd get 4 or 5 in. This is a 6 round. April's 8, one in the summer 8, and then I'd like a 10 rounder in close to Christmas. I wouldn't mind fighting for the British title first. I think there's so much honour and prestige, and that's like if I couldn't fight again, but I could fight for that, I could hang me boots up and be like, I got that Lonsdale belt though, didn't I? Do you know, I just feel it's like winning the ABAs for an amateur, isn't it? So
Obviously.
anyway, world title next year. Do you know, 9 years ago, on the 24th of February, 9 years ago, I won a world title in the Echo Arena in Liverpool. And I said to Danny, hey, it's mad, isn't it, next year? Danny Wivo, my coach now, coached me in MMA. He said, isn't it mad, 10 years later next year, we could potentially win another world title in another sport? And he's like, I like that. Yeah, it makes sense. And I'm not going to rush myself, do you know what I mean? I like, as fast as Eddie says and the opponents come, you know me, I've never turned a fight down in my life, and I fight on any given notice whenever I'm told to fight, so I would like to be as active as I can.
I know you mentioned the 18th there, obviously that's been announced. Callum Smith will be fighting Morel on that day, but obviously you're focused on the job in hand tomorrow, and then you can talk about whatever after, but there's a possibility that you could be on that card, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I asked a lot of things from Eddie when I signed. Can I fight in Ireland? Can I do a footy stadium? Can I fight in a Katie Taylor bill? Can I fight in Liverpool? Can I fight at MSG? And I'm halfway through the list of my first 4 fights. So I feel like lovely and privileged. I haven't fought in Liverpool since in February. I won the world title in MMA. Then I got signed to the UFC in April, and then I fought in the UFC in May. And I got fucking put to sleep in there. So imagine winning the world title in there, one fight, and then getting put out in the second. And I haven't, that 8 years ago, that was in May. So I can't wait. 8 years it's took for me to be able. I mean, how lucky am I got to fly around the world and fight all around the world and get paid for it. But there's a few places on this earth in England when you fight and you're a home fighter, you know, you've got, like, this would be one of them on Saturday night. But Liverpool's got that touch of class and excellence, and like, as long as there's not murder in the crowd, it'd be a fantastic night.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, it's good that Matchroom are kind of are returning back to Liverpool. I know Frank Warren's put on a few shows, obviously with Nick Ball, yeah. But Matchroom used to, I mean, when we first started, there was shows, like, there was four shows a year in Liverpool.
Did I meet you there once, or was it in Manchester?
You actually took the mic a few times for IFL, didn't you?
Yeah, you had to go and interview Ebony Bridges, and then she was being, like, sour with me, weren't she? Do you remember? And I was like, fuck off, you've just been speaking to me lovely in there. But, yeah, I think Liverpool, if we're honest, all the fighters was fighting away. And it was going between, like, Sky Sports and like, Matchroom just didn't have enough to sort it out, and we're at that point now where could Beefy be tempted for the last one if he can get the weight down, because he could always be tempted, but anyone could be tempted with Liverpool. You put that card in front of someone and they're there, and you probably have the McGrail brothers, you'll have me, could have Steve Clark on because he sells a lot of tickets, and there'd be a lot of younger little scousers coming up through. Yeah, but I at the show the other week, boxing's big in Liverpool, and if you think that 7 scousers fought last 2 weeks ago, 6 finishes, well, 7 finishes but 6 victories, like, Liverpool's back for boxing, do you know what I mean?
Just reminded me actually that there was one interview done that never went out, but I can't remember why it didn't go out. I
was interviewing Eddie or Eddie's dad.
I don't know who it was, but there was a reason. I think it was either, I don't know, something that was said in there, whether it's you or the person you're interviewing, but it never saw the light of day. So, yeah.
Well, don't cancel me or her then. We'll leave that in the archives.
Leave that one in the archives.
Yeah, I'll give you another really good one on Saturday night. I'm going to order, I can't wait, I'm just been dreaming of burgers this whole camp, right? So instead, last year, after that fight, I thought, I'm going to give up drinking until I win a world title. Like, I'm just going to leg it for the next couple of years. So now, instead of having a bevy of fights, I'm just going to have, like, smash burgers, chips, and like vanilla milkshakes or a Biscoff milkshake. So you can come, I'll get you a little order. We'll get a wing stop as well. Come to my changes, we'll have another little one of these.
Count me in. So, have you been keeping tabs on the beef between your former promoter and your current promoter?
It's like, I go down rabbit holes every day. I love it. It's blowing me, like when me and Conor Ben both fought in Vegas the same week, and I messaged Eddie or Conor saying, do you want me to speak to the PI and get you training in here? Do you remember when he had to get an American license and he had to go and train out there? And I was trying the same week, and I said, and Eddie was like, go on, I'll speak to Dana to get in. So me and Conor were training, but like different parts of the gym, but just talking to each other. And Joe Cordine and all the boys were in there. And then I'm just finishing my weight cut. We was finishing our weight cut. It was a Thursday, and I've looked, and Eddie's come in with Dana. Now, you know, you only see Dana on fight night, or once you've made weight, he comes in, he gives this big speech, and he's like, 50 G's for this, 50 G's for that, and it builds you up, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go and change my life here. And then you only see him them nights, so when you see him just in work or when you're in the PI, it's like, oh, fucking hell, there's my boss, like, you want to go and speak to him. So I've gone over, and Eddie was like, oh, I've just fucking been talking about you to him. And he was like, yeah, I've just been speaking about you, blah, blah, blah. And then I went, can we get a picture, lads? And he went, yeah. So I'm in the middle. Actually, I didn't touch him because I was sweating. And both of them was like that. And I went, my current boss and my future boss. And like, I just seen Eddie's face go like that. And Dana just laughed. And I thought, I've learned everything from Dana and how that runs and how that operates, and he was always brilliant to me. And then I've got Eddie, who's delivering for me as well, and then I'm watching them go at each other, and I'm like, fuck, when's the media going to get on to like I'm a link between both, and I be used like a bit of a pawn in between? All right, I couldn't be a world champion in the UFC. Eddie, what have you got, lads? Can you make that happen for me?
Are you saying that the origins of the beef between Dana and Eddie have come from you?
Saying that, you...
Is that what you're saying? They come from you? You started it? A little bit?
No, I'll probably get blamed.
Indirectly, did you start it?
Dana. Eddie said this. Eddie, Dana thinks you're it. Could you imagine? No, I'm not that bad.
I'm going to title this video, It's All My Fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault, Dana and Eddie have got beef. You okay, love? Sorry, kids are staring at me. Really awkward. But no, I haven't fucking caused World War IV.
Anyway. I hope you haven't, anyway.
I know. Because I always wondered, super boxing, boxing, like all the different ways that I could go. Do you know what I mean? And lots of things were put on the table. And I did just say to meet manager Graham, I was like, I just want to give I've always felt at home at the shows there, so I feel safe, and I believe Eddie will do the right thing. But I don't know. I might ask Eddie to put me on all the American cards now.
You might be the ones getting back together as well.
Former UFC fighter. No, I think so. UFC London's in March. A few of the lads from the old gyms are on, so I'll go. Dana, can I have a +1? I'm going to bring Edward with me. I'll put him on a leash. Because Eddie's come and watched me fight in the UFC in London before. They were tight. They just, I don't know. Eddie needs something to get him. He needs a dance partner, and he's got the best in a different sport at one who's now in his domain. So I can't wait. I just wake up to look at YouTube to see, who's said, like, on a UFC fight night, or is a Saturday, and Zuffa's normally the Sunday. The next morning for each, when I wake up, you can see Dana does the post-fight interviews. That's how it works in that. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what he said. And I thought it was a bit mad, when he was like, he works for his dad and it's this. And I was like, oh shit, we're getting personal. And then Eddie's like, you've got a new puppy and all that, talking about Turkey. I was like, oh my God, is he just high on caffeine at the minute? Just floating. But he's up and he's ready for it. I was speaking to the staff here, I said, unlucky matchroom, I said, because he's going to have yous run ragged now to take this even to the next. Like, I'm made up because I'm just going to get the best of the best work now. Do you know what I mean? Big nights.
All right. I know you want to go to sleep.
I will in a minute. I'm just rehydrating.
Rehydrate.
Do many boxers do interviews with you and rehydrating?
No, not really. We tend to avoid weighing days, to be honest with you. Unless it's heavyweights, yeah, we tend to kind of avoid. But so I do appreciate you doing this, to be honest with you.
Anything for you, Hod.
Thank you, Mole. Last one. Who wins? John Fury or Carl Froch? I know you've been keeping tabs on this.
I know. I was seeing Bunty yesterday and I was like, are you okay, mate? What the fuck is he... Like, every time I've met John, he's been lovely to me. I've been in rooms with Carl, but he hasn't, like, he wouldn't have known me or he wouldn't come and said hello. It's not his style, do you know what I mean? He just loves himself, so I think... I reckon if John fought him, Darren Till would probably steal it on him instead and turn up, so I'll go. I reckon that's how it'll go. I think he won't do it. Froch will just wants a bit of clout still, doesn't he, and to keep his name in the thing. He's smart on his socials, he's good on his socials. So
He's very good, his channel's very good as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I watch his bits, do you know what I mean? He's quality, but you can't hit John, man. He's like, one punch could kill him, he's an old fella. Do you know what I mean?
I think the whole situation is really bizarre because we're literally seeing back and forth videos. I think there's been one or two already this morning.
I know. I seen one, it was like, fuck, John must know he's fucked up because he done that, like, apology to Bunty, and then he put one on going, just taking my grandson here to go and buy him a new birthday present. And I was thinking, oh, you know, you fucked it here, you know. But he's like a real natural man, and I think, don't kill me for saying this, John, but a bit feral at times. Like, he's just of the old ways where you just kick off and that's the way that you was heard, as opposed to just having a conversation. Like, very old school in that manner, and I just think you can't keep carrying on because you're getting old now, lads, and you will just get flatlined. Well, he'll say he's the hardest man in the world and never been beaten, all that, but like, as you get as an older man, everyone's got a chin. That gets older, hasn't it?
All right, well, listen, appreciate your time, and we've got the... All right, mate?
Coming in, lad? No, all right.
Not bad, Nick.
It's like the Terminator, look.
I know.
Yeah, obviously got the weigh-in, the show weigh-in, if you like.
Show weigh-in in a few
later.
hours. So I'll sleep now. Me and Tier and our team's going to go and have a Nando's and then probably sleep again, then do the big weigh-ins. And then I'm going to have a really good boxing match with a 5'8" Hungarian and show you that I can undress them without taking the clothes off.
Molly, good luck tomorrow, and we'll catch up with you after your fight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night here in Nottingham, live on The Zone.
We'll have a burger and a couple of ciggies together, yeah?
You can have that. I'm going to stop. I've stopped. I've quit. Mum, I've quit.